Hello and welcome to Nolo Time, episode 44. My name is Obed, and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's up, Nolo Time? We're back here for another great show. And Obed, this is going to be the highest energy episode I think that we've ever had.
Probably, right? I haven't been to work all week, man, so I'm feeling great.
I know today I have off from work. Yeah, I'm just gonna feel refreshed for this episode. Almost dropped my mic there.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you're too excited, man. You're breaking your setup over there.
But yeah, man, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be a good one. It's gonna be better than a Hurricane Irma episode where we had the whole week off.
I know, I know. Oh, that was good. Yeah, but I was hurt during that episode.
Yeah.
I was on drugs though, so that was good. Yeah, I was on painkillers, so that made it great. I actually did another one on painkillers not too long ago because my freaking back, but that one wasn't as obvious because the other
episode was really messed up.
Yeah, that Irma one I wasn't feeling it, man. That was pretty rough, but but here's to hoping we don't get another hurricane, right?
Exactly.
These are our plans. But Joe, I know that we talked a little bit, but I'm pretty sure you have anything going on interesting this weekend. For me, man, not too much going on. Been on Final Fantasy 15 again. That's I can't get away, Joe. I don't know what's happening. And I did get to do some Battlefront time this morning, and they patched it in yesterday. They patched Battlefront 2 yesterday. They did add all the cosmetic stuff they were going to add. So that's interesting. One thing that it actually kind of sucks is that to get like the cool alien masks, like, oh, you already have a Rhodian skin for my rebel officer that I play as, but unfortunately, just to buy different ones for different categories, they're really expensive. They're like 20,000 credits. I think I'm up to like 65,000 credits right now because I barely use any credits. I only used it for crates in the past, but I got everything maxed out with the with officer. And I wanted to do the same thing with the assault class, but we'll see. My copy of God of War shipped, so that's probably going to be my next couple of months gaming wise. I think between that and back and forth with Dragon Ball, I haven't been back to Dragon Ball in a couple of weeks, but I think it's about time that I go ahead and pick it up and stop being so lazy. But what about you, man?
Yeah, man. Honestly, it's been pretty chill as well on my side. I think now, and we'll go into this a little bit later, but now we're on the road to Infinity War. We've been on this road for a while, and I've been so excited, man, just for this movie to be coming out. So with that excitement comes the preparation, for what we're gonna see. So I tend to do like my research at this time, which is basically rewatching movies, reading comics. And so at this point, what I decided to do is I watched this last weekend 3 different Marvel movies. First I watched Doctor Strange. Then I watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh, I watched it over the weekend.
Oh, that's awesome. And then I saw Thor Ragnarok. I said, I just feel like those were movies that, like, as we're getting closer to Infinity War, like, those are movies that I haven't watched that many times. Where, like, Civil War I've watched many times already. Like Avengers I've watched many times. Ultron I've watched many times. But I was like, Doctor Strange, Guardians 2, and Thor Ragnarok, like, as Thor is being newer and Guardians being newer, like, I've only watched those a couple times, so I wanted to watch it again just to get my thoughts around it even more. And then, honestly, there were some excerpts of some stuff I'm reading online, that's from other comics that might pull together, and I don't want to read this thing. I don't want to read like people's opinions and stuff. I do like to read stuff that maybe I'm not thinking of, but what the other community is thinking of. But yeah, basically it's full on Infinity War mode, man. I'm getting hyped up. I pre-bought my tickets, which is crazy. If you haven't done it, best of luck to you, because literally there is like no tickets on sale for opening weekend, unless you want to be sitting nosebleeds, right in the front or right in the back.
Yeah, it'll be like early morning or something like that, but probably anything like after matinee time, like after 3 o'clock, it's probably all gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one thing, Joel, that I actually was able to grab, if you're watching the video version of it, I was able to grab this. I haven't gotten a collectible in a while, so I grabbed
Dang.
the. This is the SH Figure Arts Son Goku by Bandai. And these are, for you guys that you don't know, these are like very high end, superposable action figures, very detailed, as you may be able to see here. I still haven't put it up yet because I'm waiting for a stand. I bought the Figure Rise stand that has the effects on it, but unfortunately, not all of the U.S. stores that had it, and I wanted, because it's an actual stand. It actually has a clip, like the Tamashi stands that I have here on my Messenger figures. So I wanted to get that instead of the actual Tamashi effects, because it had the actual stand on it. But unfortunately, none of the stores in the U.S. had it, so I had to order it from Japan, and it's been about 2 weeks, and I think I have another week or so to go. Whenever you get something from overseas, man, it just takes a while. And the reason that I did it again is because the U.S. stores that had it in stock were like charging dumb prices, and I was like, I'll just order it from Japan, and I'll take the hit on the weight, but not spend $40 on a stand, and that way save up $30 or so. So
It's a good strategy.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't mind waiting, that's definitely a way to go. And I was able to get it with free shipping and no import tax. I know that most stores, like if you buy stuff from Play Asia or Yes Asia, I've got them stuff from them in the past as well, but they do charge. There's a government thing that they have to charge an import tax, so they do charge that tax, and they do charge a flat fee for shipping, which is not that much. But they do take about 2 weeks. This one had a 3-week window, but I think it's scheduled for late next week. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped to actually put that up on my case back here and have it displayed. But yeah, it's been a while since I've gotten anything collectible wise, so I'm pretty pumped.
Nice. Yeah, I know. I need to get some stuff too, and I know we've talking about New York Comic Con. Maybe we'll get some collectibles out there. We'll see. Yeah, but yeah, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, man, if you want to start rolling with the news for this week, I know that you have some things that you want to talk about. If you want to go ahead and kick it off.
Absolutely. The first thing I just want to do is talk about the DCU, the DC cinematic universe that's going on there. I'm sure you've been seeing there's some stuff that's been coming out just in the last couple of days. The first heavy hitter that came out early this week, I want to say it was on Monday, was that Steven Spielberg is going to be doing a DC movie. He's going to be making an adaptation of Black Hawk, and that's a World War II kind of storyline hero. He's a pilot, so Steven Spielberg signed on. He's gonna be doing it. 71 years old, makes sense for him to be doing this right now because he loves those kinds of time period movies that he loves to make, and historical movies. And you look at Ready Player One, which I talked about, I think in the last episode. That movie is a good movie, and it's making a lot of money. So he's officially crossed as a director over that $10 billion mark for his career of movies. That's crazy. That's amazing. So Steven's movies are really good, and more power to him. But I think the thing that's interesting is that a lot of fans start to get real excited. They're like, Steven Spielberg's part of the DCEU, and they're, oh my gosh, and we got Steven.
Yeah, that we'll see.
Chill out. First of all, he just announced that he's joining. He could drop out without much these other directors and stuff that's happened.
Yeah, but if he hits that brick wall of creative differences, Yeah.
Right, the Joss Whedon effect.
Yeah, exactly.
It could happen, and I think it's also important to understand that even though it's a DCEU movie, it's not. I don't think it's really a connected cinematic universe, just because this movie takes place at a different time. You're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna see Wonder Woman show up in this movie. I just don't see that happening, and I don't see this character showing up in any of the future movies. Just again because we're talking about time span differences, right? It's World War II. So it's like he's going to make a movie that's going to be a part of the DC, heroes kind of thing. But I don't think it has anything to do with the connected large universe. That's just my opinion right now. And no, guys, I'm not a DC hater as I say these things, because even right now I'm wearing a DC shirt that I got from New York Comic Con. They gave out to us at the DC booth for doing the VR experience.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool shirt. That's a cool shirt, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's only at New York Comic Con they were giving these away. Actually, they were being sold for ridiculous money on eBay afterwards.
Oh, wow.
So
I bet
probably could have made some money off of it. But I like it. See, I'm not a hater. I'm a fan. But with that being said, the next thing in the DCEU that I also want to mention is that there's been some more movement again with another director, and that is Kathy Yan. If hopefully I'm saying her name right. She is going to be making. She's been tapped to make the Birds of Prey movie. And this is interesting just because, first, she obviously having another female director, that's a big move for them in the superhero landscape. That DC's really been pushing that boundaries. Patty Jenkins making Wonder Woman, Ava DuVernay making The New Gods, which we'll see if that even happens, Obed. And then Birds of Prey, which Birds of Prey with this announcement also comes to find out that from the background, what I'm hearing is that Birds of Prey has been pushed to the forefront and Suicide Squad 2 has been pushed back. So they're not even sure if they're going to make Suicide Squad 2. They're not even sure what's happening there, but Birds of Prey is being pushed instead of Suicide Squad. Makes sense. Harley Quinn was probably one of the best characters in that movie, Suicide Squad. A lot of people were interested with her, and I know she's also supposed to be producing her own Harley Quinn movie, but I think this is kind of like a testing for DC. DC doesn't know what their plans are, in my opinion. This is just evident of that, even more so. Why would you make this movie when you can't even figure out what you're doing with Ben Affleck, and you don't know what you've not announced the Superman 2 sequel and all stuff, but that you're announcing Birds of Prey 2. It just sounds like the priorities aren't in the right place. However, I'll give it a chance because of who the director is. We'll see.
Yeah, this is the same thing that we've talked about multiple times. It's they are doing an awful job at setting up with setting up a cohesive universe, and I don't know. Birds of Prey I think it's a good property. I think it's a safe property for them to try and make a movie out of. I would if I would be in their place, I would definitely go with Birds of Prey movie than Suicide Squad 2.
Agreed.
Just because you can just get a fresh start, you don't have any baggage, and you can just try and do the project. Again, it just comes down to, let's see if it happens, because of all this poor planning and the box office disaster that was Justice League, and I guess we'll see. I mean, any DC news it's definitely going to ruffle some feathers, and fanboys are going to be really excited. But on the other hand, you have to be really realistic and think about it. It's like, why do we need this? Why do we need that? I would rather see, again, Man of Steel 2, see something with Affleck before his contract's up. But at this point, it's like, you guys do whatever you guys want to do. I guess I'll see it on HBO or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting to that place. I think that the consumer's speaking with their dollar, especially what we saw with Justice League, that being the flop, like you mentioned, that it was financially. And yeah, I mean, like I definitely agree that Birds of Prey is a movie to make, but my real hope is that when we get into Comic-Con, that we get a formal announcement of, hey, we're doing Man of Steel 2. And we're bringing like a George Miller or something. That's what I hope is like, as a surprise announcement that they have been planning it. It just hasn't come out to the public yet. I would hope that. But yeah, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. Only time will tell. But I'm happy with this choice of a director for Birds of Prey, because there was rumors for David Ayer, who had made Suicide Squad, to do this one, and I was like, I don't want him to even touch any of these other DC movies. Not trying to sound like a hater again, but just gotta shoot it like I see it. But hearing that it's a different director, again, you talk about fresh approach, fresh IP. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I'll give it a chance.
yeah, I think this would be a much safer bet than just doing a Suicide Squad sequel. I mean, didn't Ayers direct that movie on Netflix with Will Smith? What was the name of it?
Yes,
Bright.
Bright.
Yeah.
And that got mixed reception as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people did not like it. So it's just, I don't think he's going to get a chance in that kind of science fiction, thing for a while.
Yeah, a lot of people hated it from what I gathered. Yeah, and that's kind of unfortunate, because Will Smith's a very well liked actor.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll see, man. I mean, anything that comes out of DC, as if they don't have footage, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. You're right. You have to treat it like that. I love that you said that.
Yeah.
If I cannot stress what Obed just said enough, if it does not have footage, it does not exist. Do not start going into Reddit forums and having arguments with people about we have Steven Spielberg and there's not any footage. There's no camera work done, nothing. All this going on with the DCEU, just give it time. Let it breathe. We'll see what happens. But there's a fun speculation part of no load time that we have here. But Obed, we got some PlayStation news. I'm sure you heard about what's going on with the PS Vita, man. Tell us what's up there.
Yeah, well, I actually played mine a little bit today, and I was like, man, this thing's really dead. And because whatever they've given us on PS Plus for the last crap, I want to say last year has been subpar, but now we know, of course, that March 2019 will be the last month that the device will be supported on PS Plus. But we got some rumors coming out of Spain, specifically saying that you can no longer buy a brand new PS Vita anywhere. Basically, that it's been all, whatever stock was there is not being replenished. So that's the first pointer to basically saying that the Vita is dead. I think it's been dead in Europe for a couple of months, in my opinion. I know that in the US, you can actually get a pretty good deal. I think if you have Amazon Prime, Joe, you can get a used Vita for like $100 or something, which is a great deal. And I know I haven't seen a brand new Vita in the wild in a while, man. It's been quite a few months. I want to say it's been over a year since the last time I saw a Vita that out in the wild. I know that they're still selling okay in Japan, but unfortunately, I don't think it's worth Sony's time to keep it alive anywhere else. I think that they're probably just gonna cut whatever's out there is out there, and that's gonna get sold through eventually, if it ever does. But we'll see how we will get some games, right? I know that those Persona Dancing All Night games are coming out. The one for Persona 5 and Persona 3. There's a couple of games a couple of RPGs that are coming out. Not a lot, really, that's out there that's been announced. It's been, 2 E3s, and there has been absolutely no mention of the Vita, and 2 PSXs and nothing. I mean, at this point, just might as well. And I don't think they just want to announce that they're done. I think that they're just going to quietly discontinue it.
That's what it sounded like to me from the report too, and it's sad. I mean, but I mean, I understand why they're doing it. It's been around for a while. It's been a few years, so I mean, it's had a good run, but it makes sense for what they're doing right now. However, even though it's gonna probably, we're phasing it out this year, like I agree with you a bit. I still think it's a good pickup. Like I would still tell people if like, oh, if they're like, hey, I would like a Vita. Should I get it? If you want one, get it because I still think it's a good thing and get games while you can and you'll have a good time.
It's a great device. Like I got my money's worth out of it. Like I played a few games that were, I played Persona 4 Golden on the Vita. That was 115 hours. I played all those Vanillaware games that came out, and those were over, anywhere from 20 to 40 hours. I played a ton of stuff on it. I played a bunch of PSP games because I never owned a PSP. So I bought a few PSP games that I wanted to play and played those. I think I put like 65 hours on Dissidia, on the second Dissidia for PSP on the Vita. So I really got my money's worth out of it. It's unfortunate that it never caught on because it was a great device. It's great hardware. It's very well designed. If they would have cut the gimmicks from day one, like that rear touchscreen, like the rear touchpad, and some of the gimmicks that it had at the beginning, like that 3G thing that it had when it came out. So if they would have cut back on those things and just made it like a solid, just do the one thing device, and of course have a touchscreen because you gotta have a touchscreen on a mobile device. But they could have definitely been in a different place. That being said, again, there are phenomenal games for it. I still have I have the was it Uncharted: The Lost Legacy? It's not Lost Legacy.
No,
that's the one.
The Compass.
Yeah, something Compass. Yeah. So I still haven't played it. And I heard it's a great game.
I was saying Uncharted's always are good.
It's just that it takes so much space on the memory card. So I have to delete half of the stuff that I have there to put Uncharted. Yeah.
These games are massive.
Oh, that was another thing. Those memory cards, man. So expensive. I think I paid, it's like $80 for the 32 gig memory card. Yeah. I think I paid $80 for the 32 gig card, and that was back in like 2013. I mean, that was like right around because I think I got my Vita like 2013. It was 2013 when I got it, and that was like summer 2013 when I got that 32 gig card. So I got it pretty much right away when I got it. But man, it's unfortunate, and I got a couple of accessories that I actually got sent from Japan as well because there's no accessories here. You would get the the Sony ones, which are great accessories, but you didn't get like shells or the thumb the stick covers or anything. So I actually had a few things sent over from Japan, but man, it's a good device. It's just that it's unfortunate that it just couldn't get to the popularity that the PSP had. If they would have released a Monster Hunter on it, it would have been great because that's what saved the PSP. Once they released that Monster Hunter on PSP, that's when it really took off, and PSP went off to sell 80 million units, and the Vita, I don't think it reached 15. I mean, it's unfortunate, but
it's what it is.
It's what it is. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. Vita's been out since 2012. So, and I'm sorry, I got my Vita in 2014, not 13. So, because I got the Slim 2012. Was when it originally came out. I think it was February 2012. So I mean, it's been a while. It's been 6 years. It didn't do well. I'm surprised it's still around, and there's still games coming out for it. Like Nintendo killed the Wii U like right away, man.
Yeah, that's true. It's outlived a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they were not playing around. They was like, oh, this thing didn't work. Just kill it, man. But I mean. But when you think about it, Sony did not. They didn't spend any marketing money on this thing. This had zero marketing, so that's another thing. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I wish it would have done better. I love the device. It's a nice device. Even to this date, it holds up. Games look pretty good, but cell phones and all of these mobile devices are changing so rapidly. that it's definitely obsolete when you compare a game on the Vita versus a game on say an iPhone, modern iPhone. So, but we'll see. I don't think Sony's gonna venture into mobile devices again. They're gonna stick with their phones. They sell okay in Europe and Japan. I wish that a carrier in the US would have subsidized those phones, but because they're great phones. I've had several Sony phones in the past, and they're great. So yeah,
nice Sony experience.
Yeah, they're pretty good, man. They had good cameras, so can't complain about that. And Joe, Avengers 4 rumors are trickling out. I heard that there's not going to be a reveal on Infinity War about what this movie is going to be about, which is good. But at the same time, it's just going to keep the fanboys like yourself just really excited.
Sweaty nerds. I might be visibly sweating after that movie. I don't know. You might want to make sure I package the cologne. But with Avengers Infinity War, we got an Avengers movie coming out, guys. It's really soon. But we have to remember that there's an Avengers movie coming out the following, right? This coming next year. And it's Avengers 4. That's all we know. It's Avengers 4. No title, nothing. Like you just said, they haven't told us anything. However, there's some news that came out today about Cassie Lang, who is the daughter of Scott Lang. Remember young Cassie in the Ant-Man movie? Well, young Cassie's not young Cassie anymore. Emma Furman has been cast to play Cassie Lang in Avengers 4. And if you look at this is now where you start to get into this speculation of what Avengers 4 is going to be, simply because this is an adult Cassie Lang, a young adult Cassie Lang. So does this mean that we're going to be dealing with time travel? One has to assume that Doctor Strange and the Time Stone, that was just a peak of what we could see with time, and that there's going to be a whole lot more crazy stuff with time going into Avengers 4. I've always said to you, Obed, and people ask me all the time, Joel, what's going to happen in Avengers 4? I'm like, there's infinite possibilities. It's called Infinity War, right? But with that being said, Thanos has his Infinity Gauntlet. He just swings that gauntlet around and changes everything. In fact, even in one of the new TV spots, which Obed, I'm avoiding like the plague, anything. But every now and then I some stuff happens, and I heard the beginning of one of the TV spots, and Thanos makes a statement, and they're saying, with just one, a move of my hand, I can wipe you off of existence. And I'm just like, that's literally what we're dealing with. He can just spin that gauntlet around, and everything just changes as reality. And everything we know from all the Avengers movies become irrelevant, and it's entirely reset and renew. So, Obed, I think time travel is a thing. I don't know if you saw this article, I want to say The Verge put out there, but they were saying how this Avengers 4 could be the setup for resetting up the X-Men and bringing them into the Marvel Disney universe, and basically by doing like a House of M kind of storyline, which I would not be surprised. I really hope that they go over some big stuff and surprises. But Obed, I think that'd be cool. What is your thoughts on this information?
Yeah, I think that either there's going to be time travel or there's going to be a time skip. Like there's going to be whatever happens after Infinity War is going to take them a while to get over, and there's going to be a time jump. It's like this is 10 years in the future or something like that. That's a possibility. But I think the time travel thing is plausible, because I still think that someone's going to eat it in this movie, and they're going to try and use that time stone to get that whoever that character that gets it back. So interesting. We will see where this goes. I'm really excited for Infinity War. Go ahead, man.
I was gonna say, you were joking about people eating it. There's a image going around. I don't know if you've seen it regarding to the Infinity War soundtrack. It's a really great joke. If you ever get a chance, guys, look this up. It's hilarious. maybe I'll share it on our Twitter or something. But it's basically showing like, oh, song 1, Cap's death. Song 2, Iron Man's death. Song 3, Scarlet Witch's death. Song 4, like going down all their deaths. But here's the funny thing: like in the middle, it's like Hawkeye survives, and then, and nice. Then like song 14 is like DCUU dead, like so like it's a really funny image going around on the internet. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I need to check it out. I haven't seen it. Well, that sounds pretty funny. But yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. There's going to be major stuff happening in this movie, and there's definitely going to be a reset here somewhere. So we'll see. I guess we'll find out in a couple of weeks or so, right? About a week.
Yeah.
Man, can't wait. Don't spoil it, because if I'm not able to, I'm gonna double check with the wife. If she just says I don't want to go, then I will go Saturday morning and check it out. It's like before the crowds come in, I'll wake up early and go.
Dude, I think even early in the morning there's gonna be crowds, but you'll have a better chance.
I went to see Last Jedi on like a very early morning, and there was like 6 dudes in the theater, so it wasn't that packed, and it was during Christmas, so it's yeah. Nice. But yeah, interesting stuff going on with that. But Joel, do you want to talk some games, or do you have any other video game? Or any other movie stuff to talk about? Because we're probably going to go into a discussion here in a minute.
I think it's time to go into the discussion, man. That's the heavy stuff from my side.
All right, cool. All right, so we've all known that it was leaked, and then they fully revealed that there is a Call of Duty Black Ops 4 coming out. So it was not necessarily announced, but someone leaked it this morning, and I'm gonna do some fact checking while I go at it as well. But it was reported today by several video game news outlets that this upcoming Call of Duty is not going to have a single player mode. That they are going to abandon the single player mode and go into multiplayer only, focusing on the of course the multiplayer modes and zombie modes, and also including a Battle Royale mode, which is very interesting because Battle Royale games usually have some elements of survival games, and Call of Duty is not that, right? So I have very strong feelings about this. I have absolutely zero problems with Call of Duty adding a Battle Royale mode. I don't think that's the problem, but I do take issue, Joel, because it's and I know that these things cost a lot of money, right? Again, I've talked about it in the podcast before. Creating single player experiences costs a lot of money. What really kind of bothers me is that just taking away the single player experience, this is definitely not going to sit well with a lot of people, a lot of purists, not necessarily to those who play Call of Duty competitively. But I do take issue with that, Joel, because it's kind of like regressive in a way. I don't know if it may be the old school gamer in me coming out and just trying to fight this new trend. But we've seen plenty of multiplayer focused games with single player modes, including Overwatch. It does have single player modes and this sort of games. So and in Call of Duty's always had a single player mode. I think Black Ops 3, I'm almost certain that game was released on previous gen consoles without the single player mode. It was just multiplayer modes on that. Just before we go into this discussion, Joel, what do you think about that move on Call of Duty's and Activision's behalf?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me greatly personally. I feel kind of, indifferent
Different.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I see where you're coming from. Like, I totally hear, and this is why like I love talking with you, Obed, because I feel like I get sometimes educated on these other perspectives of things. It's like, yeah, it may not matter to you that much, but to a gamer like yourself, Obed, you've been doing this for a while. You have a different perspective on like the like you said, the word you said, it could be regressive, like you said yourself. So I feel like this is a moment where it's like, educate me, Obed. Tell me more.
No, I mean it's and I don't want to sound like a pretentious old school gamer, right? I'm because I'm not.
No, you're not.
Like I really like if there's anything that I hate about retro gamers is that games today suck. It will never compare to the games to the NES and Super NES era. That was the best. No, don't be pretentious. You're wrong. No, I mean come on. It's like you're not gonna. Are you gonna compare with the original Legend of Zelda with Breath of the Wild? You can't, right? The problem is that you can't because they are both products of their time. What
True.
was achieved on the NES was only limited by the hardware. Therefore, you cannot compare it to today, where the one of those uh, the Wii controllers, whatever they call their Joy Cons, they have maybe hundreds of thousands of times more power than the NES. Just the controller itself. So you can't make that comparison, and you can be pretentious and say those kind of things because, in my opinion, you're an idiot if you say this sort of things. Uh,
Strong
sorry,
words, Obed.
sorry if you're offended, but that's the truth. But part of the bigger discussion here is where do single player experiences go when it comes to this type of game, to shooter games. I'm not sure what uh, Battlefield is planning on their single player, if any. I know that for the most part, this recent line of games, and Call of Duty and the last two specifically, like the Call of Duty Battlefield, or Call of Duty WW2 and Battlefield 1, I've heard their story modes are very thin and they really don't have a lot to add to the experience itself. But on the contrary, you got other games like Battlefield 4, and then the Call of Duty, the Infinite Warfare. I heard that story mode was great. So I think this is just Activision being just greedy and not wanting to invest in this type of experience. And it's their prerogative. This is their property. They can do whatever they want. But even EA recognized that this was a problem with the original Battlefront, because that was the big thing with the first Battlefront. Is like, hey, this is just multiplayer only. It doesn't have a single player experience. And then they give us a single player experience, but then they mess it up with microtransactions. Man, I get so upset with this thing. But just moving right along, just again, Activision is free to do with their properties whatever they want. I just think the move is regressive, and it just doesn't. I think it has no merit. But on the other hand, Joel, there's two big things happened recently. So, Boss Key, which is Cliff Bleszinski's studio, they announced that they're shutting down their Dead on Arrival project, Lawbreakers. So they're shutting that thing down quick, and that's dead and done pretty much. But they announced that they were releasing a new game called Radical Heights, and it's an 80s based, like an 80s themed Battle Royale game. And it got released on early access on Steam. The game's supposedly doing pretty good, and it's supposedly a pretty okay game. So that being added to this sort of Call of Duty, hubbub that's going on. This morning we got rumors that Battlefield 5 is also testing a battle royale mode that's gonna come out when Battlefield 5 comes out. Joel, I feel that I know that the battle royale genre right now is very popular. What started with DayZ was taken over and taken to the extreme by PUBG, and then Fortnite came in and just grabbed it right out of their hands, man, and just kept running. And right now it's the biggest game in the world.
It's ridiculous.
And they're on mobile. The concurrent player base is ridiculously high. But I feel like it's early enough where I can say that I feel like there's oversaturation, and there's going to be a lot of problems with a lot of these new properties coming in and inserting this type of gameplay element to their games. Remember I said it when that Metal Gear Survive was coming out. I was like, if this thing has a battle royale mode, I may play it. But they weren't smart enough to put it in because they're Konami. They're idiots. They just announced a Castlevania for iOS yesterday. I mean,
guys, he's got a lot of savage Obed moments in this episode. Yeah, I mean, the savage me trying you just going off the charts.
Yeah, seriously. This is what happens when I have time off from work and I spend too much time on the internet.
Savage Obed.
It's like I get too passionate about these things. But we see the problems that not necessarily PUBG, because they also launched an Xbox, but it was a half-baked product and it didn't run well. And I believe that to this day it does have some issues, and there's patches coming in and whatnot. But Joel, I feel like they are trying to really cash in on this battle royale thing without thinking twice, and that to me is again a big problem. I appreciate good old team deathmatch and all this stuff, but just trying to force that into everyone, and I'm sure that they're not forcing it in, but making this sort of game. Hey, and you know what? If you enjoy battle royale games, that's perfectly fine. That's absolutely, you're enjoying a game. I
absolutely
enjoy it. I mean, I can't be here and dictate what sort of games you need to like. No, if you like a game, if you're into Flappy Bird, who cares? But
hey, don't crack on Flappy Bird. I played that game.
I think we all did. But if you're into this type of games, that's great. More power to you. But at the same time, I feel like now all games that have a multiplayer aspect are gonna have this sort of gameplay element thrown in. Is it gonna be good? I don't know. Are they gonna catch up to Fortnite? Maybe. I think Fortnite just got too big, and just everyone else is playing catch up at this time. So, man, I don't know, Joe. I know that you're not super into multiplayer games. You're more like me. You're into more like single player story driven experiences. That's the kind of game I enjoy. I really enjoy Battlefront 2 because it's Star Wars, right? If it would have been generic shooter, I would not be into it. I guarantee that I would not be into it.
Yeah, if Star Wars Battlefront was titled some other random thing and it just wasn't Star Wars, the exact same game, just not Star Wars, I don't think you and I would have played it for sure.
Oh no, yeah, I would not have bought it. I mean, I wouldn't have bothered getting it. It's the truth, man. If it would have been any other game, I probably would have skipped it. But it's Star Wars, it's freaking Star Wars. What can you do? But but yeah, I mean, what do you think, Joel? Is it going to get oversaturated? Is it a wait and see kind of thing? is it too much, and everyone trying to cash into the same pool? So what's up, man? What do you think about this thing?
No, I just think that there's maybe some type of predictive pattern that's being shown. People are looking at, like you're saying, games like Fortnite and looking at some of these other properties, and they're saying like, hey, maybe this is a key to make our game successful in the sense that like people would buy these games just for this aspect. So it's another selling point, and it probably doesn't take that much work that goes into it. I mean, like it's not too crazy, you know, to have to work on it. Some of they can easily scope out from the early phases. So I just think like like single player is always going to be. I just think that's always going to be the games that sell. But the multiplayers, when executed right, like those are the games that are going to get, you know, instantly blown up and make tons of millions of copies being sold. We see it happening. See it happen all the time. I mean, growing up, like I did more multiplayer, and I think as I've gotten older, Joel Young getting older now, you know, I think that's where I started just playing these, you know, single player campaign story stuff, and every now and then doing multiplayer. So I'm just curious to see, you know, I'm not gonna say everyone is like me, but I'm curious to see how they're expecting to really pull people in. I know, like you mentioned a great point about you're talking about Metal Gear Survive, like. Hey, like if they would have done this thing, you probably would have gotten it, even though you have no care in the world for this game. So it's like, I think that's indicative of what they're looking at. Like, hey, can we pull people in just for this? I don't know.
Yeah. If Survive would have added that mode, for sure that game would have done better. But that game flopped like massively. It's ridiculous. But again, if you enjoy these games, that's great. But it's just that I'm gonna make an E3 prediction today. 4 weeks early. 4 weeks early, and we'll keep you guys posted. We're gonna do some planning for E3. We're gonna have a predictions episode, and we're gonna try some special things for E3. But I'm gonna give you a prediction, Joel. Crackdown 3 for Xbox is being turned into one of these type of games. And that's why it's been delayed indefinitely.
That's a good one. I can see that happening.
Yeah, I think that's my prediction. There were rumors circling that the game's been canceled and that game's not going to come out, but I think that game's going to get reworked into a Battle Royale game. And fittingly, because the art style fits, the superpower thing they have going on fits. I think it would be, if Microsoft, if you're listening, I think that's what you should do. Like if I was Microsoft, I would have greenlit this, like just shut it down and let's turn it into this thing, because that's a guaranteed way that the game's going to do well on your platform and on PC, because all Xbox games are on PC as well. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out for Sea of Thieves, that, you know, came out with this multiplayer pirate adventure thing. It's funny because even Xbox fans are calling it Sea of Z's, because there's like, it's just this news fest.
What we're talking about?
Oh no! Yeah. Caught you by surprise. But man, I mean, and again, I'm a fan of all games, and I don't have to like your game if you're happy with what you're playing. It's the same with movies, right? I'm not into frou Oscar bait movies, but I know that there's people that love them, so it's like that's great, you know. And you're enjoying something, I don't care as long as you enjoy it.
His own.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that, you know, for me, I'm more into, you know, narrative single player experiences. I do occasional multiplayer, like with Dragon Ball and Battlefront, but I'm not super into, you know, all this, you know, crazy multiplayer stuff. I'm still curious with Fortnite. I still think, because I've already got it from PS4, and I got that Founders Pack that they were giving with PS Plus. So I grabbed that. I haven't installed it, but I think I may give it a chance.
Wow, Obed.
One day I may try it. If I don't like it, I'll just delete it and that's it. I don't have to dwell on it. But it's interesting to see that this type of this game genre, because it is a separate genre right now, um, it caught so much fire that everyone wants to do it, and that's fine. But at the same time, you're running the risk of oversaturating and just not advancing the genre. So I think Fortnite's doing something different because it does have that building element to it. But we'll see how Call of Duty is able to incorporate it. I don't know how Battlefield intends to incorporate it. I will not be shocked if Star Wars tries something like this based on the rumors that are going around with the next Star Wars game that's coming out from EA is going to be a Destiny-like type of game, which again it's their own genre as a game as a service, and a lot of people enjoy it. I know
Destiny's
that.
Huge.
Yeah. I mean, I have a friend that's put almost 1,000 hours on Destiny, so it's a big deal. So I think that, I mean, it's great that there's a game genre that's doing great out there, but at the same time, I'm also very cautious, and I fear this oversaturation. It's not gonna take us anywhere. But I mean, Joe, what happens if there's another game that takes over Fortnite by the end of the year, and then all these games come out with this mode, and no one cares for it?
They'll instantly send the message to the industry. That's the thing. You're gonna send. Either way. There's gonna be a message sent. Either it's gonna go crazy, or it's gonna be like, we don't care. We don't want this. So again, like you and I have our preferences, but we don't speak on behalf of the community. We're part of the community, but we just don't know how it's gonna be responsive. Is this a future thing? Is this something that's going to become a thing, or is this going to be a momentary?
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. That's the point that I'm trying to get into. We don't know. And I just wanted to have a little discussion about this because I see that all these games are coming out with a Battle Royale mode, and again, this type of modes are not for everyone. Yes, they're very popular, but at the same time, it doesn't serve a lot of the gaming community. But oversaturation is the thing. We've seen it. We saw it with, the type of like the tap games, like the Flappy Birds, and again all these tap games that came out for iOS, and it was just tap the screen. It's ridiculous. There was a trend there for a while, and it got to the point that everyone made a tapping game, and then all died at the same time. Same thing with this, the base building type of games, like the whatever base building games, and King released, and whatever, like Candy Crush and all this type of games that they're all proven fads basically. And at the end of the day, it's money moves the industry, right? And it's like in any type of industry. If there's money to be made, there's people that are going to make the product. And I feel really bad for Fortnite, not Fortnite. I'm sorry, for PUBG, because they were like, "Yo, we own this thing," and then now they're telling people, "Hey, we invented it, but now everyone has it." So I kind of feel bad for them, but not really, because I mean, the like PlayerUnknown, the guy, I forgot his name. I heard he's a nice guy. The company that's behind the product, probably not so much. They're the ones making the weird statements about, the game engine use and all this stuff. But we'll see where this goes. I'm really interested to see where this goes. I guess we'll find out October, November, where all these games start coming out. And man, it's crazy stuff happening right now on the games industry.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, this E3 is gonna be, man. I'm really worried, we're gonna get some pretty big surprises. Is my opinion. So
I know, because I sent you about like talking about also Microsoft getting a Tomb Raider exec, to be joining them and be working on some stuff. I think Microsoft is pulling some stuff out of here last minute that we didn't see coming.
yeah,
You and I, when we talked about it, was it's probably too late for them to try and catch up for what's going to even happen this year with E3, but regardless, and just interesting to see the moves that are going to be made and the announcements coming leading up to
E3. And they're trying. They're listening to their fan base. Even if what Phil Spencer says on Twitter is nonsense, because I don't know if you saw that there was a tweet by Ron McCaffrey from IGN, and Phil Spencer replied to it with something saying, it's like, oh, we need to get the console right in order for us to get the games right. What the heck,
that makes
dude?
No sense.
That makes no sense.
Your
console's out. You've already had the console, and it's the same console from 2013. But what do you mean? Well, I mean, it's messed up.
It doesn't make
sense. And I like Phil Spencer. I think he listens to the community, and he's really involved. And I think he's a nice guy. Yeah, he seems like a nice guy. I just think that Xbox is in a very volatile position right now on Microsoft, because Microsoft is really moving their business into a very, very different and direction than Xbox is. So I think they're really trying to move away from Xbox. There were rumors that Sega may come into the games console business. I doubt it, because they make a killing with those Yakuza games that we just got one yesterday.
Dude, that would be awesome though. Just I don't think it would be a good idea, but I still would be hyped if I saw that.
Dude, if I mean, can you imagine getting a rebranded Xbox with a Sega logo on it? I'll buy one.
I would be hyped. Yeah, I might. Yeah.
It's like, if that's the only way you can get me to buy an Xbox, just put a Sega sticker on it. I'll buy it.
Hold on, though. I'll let you all in on a little secret. I do have a picture of Obed holding an Xbox controller.
Oh, yeah, you do.
That's the story behind that, but regardless, it exists.
Yeah,
his hands were bleeding.
Yeah. My fingers were all like this. Like, I can't hold the stick, and oh man,
what is this?
Yeah, this wasn't intended for me. But we'll see where this goes. It's all very interesting stuff happening. Joel, that's what I got for this week. I don't know if you have anything else, but if you don't, just go ahead and plug in our social media places.
Let's do it, guys. So good to be with you on this episode of No Load Time. Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to us here on the show. If you are listening to us, please go ahead and subscribe to our podcast. No Load Time is on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play. You can also subscribe to the video version of us on YouTube if you're watching us. We also throw some likes and comments. If you are a listener, subscriber on iTunes, go ahead and drop us a review. That would help us out big time. Also, we want you to follow us on social media, as Obed was saying. Maybe I'll even post that little Infinity War thing that I saw. I think I'll go in there and put that up. That I saw with the spoilers, supposed soundtrack. But anyways, follow us at No Load Time. It's at No Load Time on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Obed put out a cool video, I know, a YouTube video also on our social media, so make sure to check that out.
I was able to kill that friggin' Omega on Final Fantasy. That took me, man, I thought it was going to take me about an hour and a half. That's what people said. It took me about 45 minutes, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, so you guys, you got to follow us on Twitter, and then you'll see some cool things. So yeah, check that out. And then also, please feel free to send in any emails to us, questions, comments, feedback, whatever you want to tell us about the show. Send us an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. We are growing together. We're getting better together. We're so excited about the future here on the show. And thank you for always listening to us. And next time it's going to be another fun one.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening and joining us on the video version as well. And we'll see you guys on the next show.
See ya.